Let's take a look at the weather Saturday morning. Not sure what you're up to, but whatever it is, Helen. Was that a sigh I saw there, Helen? Is that the weather in a nutshell?
Yes, in a nutshell. Good morning, Charlie, Rachel. Hello there, good morning. Only the rain is easing today, so that is good news. But we do expect further flood issues because we do still have 7 severe flood warnings in force across northeastern parts of Scotland, particularly Angus, Dundee and Aberdeenshire as well. We've had, such a relentless band of rain here. It's been blowing a gale as well across the Northern Isles, some very choppy seas. But 184 millimetres since Wednesday, and that's the equivalent of about a month and a half's worth of rain for some parts of eastern Scotland. We have flood warnings out for some parts of eastern England as well, but you can see the rain band today is lighter.
For the weekend, Helen, what have you got for us? What an image that is behind you.
Isn't it beautiful? I was just thinking fond memories of village halls for my children at preschool, actually. But this is the Northern Lights from Shetland sent in. So just a little bit of fine weather around, but it's been blowing a gale in Shetland for the last 2 or 3 days.
Helen, how are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. I hope you're both well. It's a fine start. Obviously, the story this week has been all about the rain, but actually it's a quieter day today. This is a frosty field in rural parts of Devon, but even in the more built-up parts of Devon as well, we've got a frost. It's probably one of the coldest starts of the season across the southwest of England, across Wales and Northern Ireland this morning. But before we go any further with the forecast for today, just that reminder, 7 severe flood warnings, threat to life in force across parts of eastern, northeastern Scotland in particular, which is not hard to believe, unfortunately, when you consider the amount of rain that's fallen. That's hard to believe. 180 millimetres in the last 3 days in some areas. Even Edinburgh and Durham have had about a month's worth of rainfall.
The weather has been a little bit kinder to them today than the past few days. Helen, how's it for the rest of us?
Oh, I was just thinking how chilly it must be in those shorts, and the fact that even tomorrow in the forecast there's a chance of something wintry over the Pennines. Anyway, for the rest of us, yes, it is a little bit kinder today. We've had some mist and some fog still around this morning. This is in Wales a little earlier, and it's also quite frosty in some parts of Western Britain and Northern Ireland. But the weather hasn't been kind this week, and there are still flood warnings, severe flood warnings as well, across the northeast of Scotland. Good morning. Those hills gruelling, especially as it's a chilly start, but some sunshine at least. And this is looking through the trees at the mist in Powys this morning. It's been the coldest night since spring last year for Wales and Northern Ireland. Temperatures down at 3 or 4 below freezing. But further east, as we know, it has been relentless, the rain, as you said yourself, and we still have severe flood warnings in force across Aberdeenshire, Angus and Dundee. And we've had the best part of 200 millimetres of rain up over the hills. Even in Durham and Edinburgh, we've had about 50 or 60 millimetres. Now, this is the rainfall in the next 24 hours. It's all coming in off the Atlantic, but you can see the focus is the north and the west, but still some northeastern parts of Scotland will continue to see another 10 or 15 millimetres of rain. This is what's marching in. So with it, some strong winds. Goodness me, we've had strong winds as well, haven't we, the last 3 or 4 days across Shetland. We've had gale force winds blowing. That's made conditions really treacherous indeed, and they continue today. And then it should be a pleasant enough day, but it will feel chilly out there, 9 or 10 degrees Celsius if you are heading off to the Rugby League World Cup finals. I've certainly moved into my thick padded jacket. I had gloves and a hat on yesterday as well. I think it's that sort of weather once again today. Chilly night, Sunday into Monday. We shouldn't be surprised at this time of year that we see some frost and some fog. But again, there's so little respite at the moment from this wet and windy weather, and more of it comes for England and Wales and Northern Ireland on Monday, taking its time to push up into Scotland. But again, another perhaps 20 or 30 millimetres of rain on the cards, and it doesn't stop there. It's an unsettled looking picture for much of the week. For more on the weather warnings, flood warnings, head to the website, or for the SEPA website. That's the Scottish Environment Protection Agency, for those severe flood warnings.